So in one of my other videos in talking about the moon, I spoke about masculine and feminine energies. And this video is going to tell you a little bit more about that. So masculine and feminine energies, we all have both. We both have masculine and feminine, no matter what gender we are and or how we view ourselves. So what does this mean to you? And you might, as I'm telling you some of the things about this masculine and feminine energy, you might kind of check off some things about yourself where you're like, oh yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. So make a list of some of these things that I'm telling you and see which one resonates more, to see if you're working more in your feminine or maybe more working in your masculine. And then we'll go over later about balancing these and why it's good to have both. So feminine energy is all about flowing. It's more receptive, more passive, more intuitive, more feeling, more emotions. And a lot of it has to do with darkness as well. Darkness meaning more going within and being okay with the unknown. Feminine energy is also about this boundless, infinite energy, and also more collaborative and cooperative type energy. This type of energy that cannot be contained. It is more of a surrendering energy and a knowing versus thinking or knowledge. It's also about being able to draw experiences to you versus pushing or pulling things to you. It's more about effortlessly just drawing these energies to you. The energy is magnetic, creative. It is about resting, renewing, and about embodying. So now onto the masculine. The masculine is more of your conscious mind, your logic, your planning, this drive, this action focused. This energy is very electric too, being kind of like the Lone Ranger and doing things themselves versus collaboratively. This masculine energy is also about boundaries and more containing, and can also be a little more competitive, which is not a bad thing. These masculine and feminine energies they're not good or bad, they just are. The masculine energy is very structured and very direct and getting shit done, solving problems, pushing through. And with pushing through also comes emotions. So if there's a lot of masculine energy, you might just push through things that are happening in your life and not allowing your emotions to come through. So really, you might be finding yourself in some of these things that I have spoken about. And it's finding a balance, and it's finding your balance. So, we don't want it to be 50-50, or maybe we do. We're all different. And so understanding this masculine and this feminine is a part of understanding more of who you are and how you work. Now, on the flip side of that, there can be too much masculine energy or too much feminine energy. And when you have too much masculine, when you are running more out of your masculine energy, there's a tendency there for you to have burnout, to feel just worn out because you're just pushing through, which that happens a lot in our society. We're just pushing through, we're getting things done. I'm guilty of it myself. And you just run yourself ragged, okay? I get it. And then with the feminine, you can also have too much of the feminine. You can be overly emotional and everything is always like to the heart. And so as you can see here, sometimes it's good to bring in a little bit of masculine to help counter that out. Because whenever you don't have that, when you're just full feminine, then you can get lost in your head. You can either be a total free spirit and not really have any kind of structure in your life, which can cause some chaos. or you just can get lost in your emotions. And so this can lead to a lot of depression and also worry and anxiety. So you see there's these two flip sides here. Too much of masculine, too much feminine. It's like too much of a good thing sometimes, and we want to find our own balance. And sometimes some days will be different. Let's talk about how you can identify when you are taking on either too much masculine or too much feminine energy. So when you're taking on too much masculine or leading more with a masculine, you can be a more assertive, dominating, maybe even feeling blocked. Your ego may be on overdrive just a little bit. You may lack creativity and just be very robotic and just kind of like pushing through things. In contrast with feminine energy, when you are running with more feminine energy than is probably healthy for you, is when you are feeling you let everybody kind of like walk all over you, like the boundaries are not there. When you feel almost too empathetic and feeling like other people's problems are your problems and you're just taking them on and being overly nurturing. You may feel or be codependent, or maybe even in a victimhood. And you might just kind of be feeling complacent, like not really feeling like you want to set new goals or maybe strive for something else, like you're just in neutral. When we find ourselves striving and pushing and burnt out and just doing and going, that's when we have too much masculine energy, and we need to step back and think, how can I surrender? And that would be bringing in that feminine energy. It's all about surrendering and going with the flow. And so I'm talking mainly about bringing in more feminine energy, because that is something that I see a lot of in women, is that we are taking on too much of a masculine energy. And when we need to bring more of that feminine energy, that innate feminine energy within us, that intuitive energy, that knowing energy, that magnetic energy of effortlessly bringing experiences and things to us versus pushing. It feels so much better to be able to receive, and that's part of being in the feminine energy too, is receiving. When you're in the masculine, you're giving. Think, for instance, when there's a problem that needs to be solved, or somebody's having, say it doesn't even need to be solved, there's a problem happening, somebody tells you about it. A lot of the times what we want to do is say, oh my gosh, well, have you tried this? Do this. Oh, I know somebody that might can help you. Let me try. That's that masculine energy coming out, because we are trying to fix something. We're trying to solve something. We're trying to give something to you, versus being in the feminine energy of just supporting them and being there and saying, you know, I'm really sorry. This is going on with you. You know, let me just be here for you. Let me give you a hug, or let me just sit with you while you cry or while you just talk. So see the difference here? And sometimes we just don't know that we are doing it. And so that's why it's really important to understand the masculine and the feminine energies. So this hopefully has helped you understand your energies a little bit more, and hopefully where you can balance them out within yourself and notice certain times when you might be pushing too much of one or the other. So if at any point, just to keep this very simple, if you feel frustration or there is dis-ease happening in your life, try to look at the energies that you're putting out. Is it more masculine? Is it more feminine? And see where you can maybe let some of the energy of the feminine in yourself rise up, or let more of the masculine in yourself rise up. There's lots of lists online about how to get on board more with masculine energy and how to get on board with more of your feminine energy. There's tons of information out there. So hopefully now you can say, okay, I'm leading more with this, or I'm leading more with this type of energy. And all of it is okay. We're meant to go through ebbs and flows of this, right? But what I am trying to do is to educate you so that we can have this grace and this ease and this comfortability. Is that a word? Comfortableness in our lives. And it's understanding ourselves. Okay. It all comes down to understanding yourself and understanding your energy. And if you don't understand yourself and your energy, no one else is going to.